Love, at its purest, is a beautiful exchange, a dance of emotions where both people step forward in rhythm. But what happens when you're the only one moving? When you keep reaching out but no one reaches back? When you keep giving and giving but never receive anything in return? The ache of one-sided love is unlike anything else. It's not just about being alone. It's about feeling alone while standing right next to someone. It's about trying to light a fire in the rain, hoping your warmth is enough for two. Loving someone who doesn't love you back in the same way is not just painful, it's soul-draining. And yet, many people stay, hoping things will change, praying for a moment of reciprocity that never comes. The truth is, recognizing the signs of a one-sided relationship is the first step toward reclaiming your worth. Because your heart deserves to be held with the same care and passion you pour into someone else. Let's dive deep into 9 revealing signs that your love might be one-sided, and why noticing them could save your heart from breaking over and over again. Sign 1. You initiate everything. In a healthy relationship, effort flows from both ends. But when you find yourself constantly initiating texts, calls, plans, and conversations, it's a red flag waving silently in the background. You're the one checking in, asking how their day was, sending good morning messages, making plans to meet up. And while you convince yourself that you're just more expressive, somewhere deep down, you feel the imbalance. The energy feels lopsided, the engagement half-hearted. If you're the only one making the effort to maintain the bond, the truth becomes clear. You're holding the entire relationship together alone. And no matter how strong you are, love should never be a one-person job. Sign 2, your needs are always on hold. Relationships require compromise. But when you find your needs consistently ignored or deprioritized, you're being sidelined in your own love story. If you're always putting their feelings first while yours are brushed off or belittled, the connection isn't mutual. You deserve to feel heard, seen, and respected. But in a one-sided relationship, your desires are often seen as inconvenient, your concerns dismissed as overreactions. Love is supposed to be a space where both people can be vulnerable. But if you're afraid of being honest because you don't want to push them away, you've already lost a piece of yourself. Being in love shouldn't mean silencing your own voice. Sign 3, they're emotionally unavailable. When someone loves you, they make room for your emotions. They hold your pain, celebrate your joy, and share their own world with you. But in a one-sided connection, emotional intimacy is absent. You might open your heart, but they remain guarded, distant, detached. They might dodge deep conversations, avoid discussing the future, or deflect when you try to connect beyond the surface. You crave depth, but they stay shallow. And every time you try to get closer, they pull further away. You're left craving connection, but only receiving crumbs. You start to question if you're asking for too much when in reality, you're just asking for love. Sign 4. You feel more anxious than happy. Love should bring peace. It should feel like coming home, like finally breathing after holding your breath. But when you're in a one-sided relationship, it often feels like you're walking on a tightrope, constantly anxious, overthinking everything, afraid of doing or saying the wrong thing. You replay conversations, analyze their silence, and wonder why they seem distant. The relationship becomes a source of stress rather than comfort. You're stuck in a cycle of high hopes and low realities, clinging to potential instead of embracing truth. Love isn't supposed to feel like a battlefield where you're the only one fighting. Sign 5, they don't make you a priority. We make time for what matters. That's the reality. If someone truly cares, they find ways to show it. Through their time, their attention, their presence. But in a one-sided love, you're constantly left waiting for a reply, waiting to be seen, waiting for them to show up, not just physically, but emotionally. Plans are often canceled, texts go unanswered, birthdays forgotten. You find yourself on the sidelines of their life while they remain the center of yours. When someone sees you as an option instead of a priority, they're not cherishing you, they're tolerating you. And you deserve so much more than that. Sign 6. Affection is conditional. Real love is consistent. It's not something you have to earn every day through proving yourself. But in a one-sided relationship, affection often comes with strings attached. They're warm when they want something, cold when you need comfort. They give just enough to keep you hoping, but never enough to truly satisfy your soul. You start bending over backwards for a sliver of their attention. You try harder, give more, sacrifice your happiness, only to receive temporary affection that disappears the moment you ask for consistency. You begin to realize you're not being loved. You're being managed. Sign 7. You're constantly justifying their behavior. One of the most dangerous traps in a one-sided relationship is becoming your partner's biggest excuse maker. They forget your anniversary, and you convince yourself they're just busy. They ignore your texts, and you say they need space. They avoid commitment, and you tell yourself they've been hurt before. You're always rationalizing their lack of effort while blaming yourself for wanting more. You become a master of self-deception, twisting red flags into explanations. But the reality is, when someone wants to love you, they do. You won't have to beg, bargain, or build illusions. If you're constantly making excuses for them, ask yourself, why are you protecting their behavior at the cost of your peace? Sign 8. Your growth is stunted. The right love expands you. It doesn't confine you. But when you're in a one-sided relationship, your growth slows down. You start shrinking to fit their world. You lose sight of your goals, your passions, your identity. You hesitate to shine too brightly, afraid it might push them further away. You suppress parts of yourself to be more palatable, less demanding, more agreeable. But love should never ask you to become less of yourself. If you feel like you're constantly compromising who you are just to keep someone who doesn't meet you halfway, you're not in a relationship. You're in a prison of your own making, and it's time to break free. Sign 9. Deep down, you know you're not loved the same way. Perhaps the most telling sign is the one that lives quietly inside you. The voice that whispers the truth even when you don't want to hear it. Despite the effort you put in, the hopes you hold on to, the justifications you make, there's a part of you that knows. You feel the emptiness even in their presence. You sense the absence even in their words. You know you're loving more, giving more, caring more. And while your heart keeps hoping, your soul feels tired. Because deep down, you know that if they loved you the way you love them, you wouldn't have to question it so often. You wouldn't feel alone in a relationship that's supposed to make you feel whole. Real love is mutual. It's not measured by grand gestures, but by consistent presence. It's built on reciprocity, not sacrifice. It's not about clinging to someone who makes you feel like you're hard to love. It's about building something with someone who sees your worth without needing reminders. One-sided love may start with hope, but it ends in heartbreak if left unaddressed. The longer you stay, the more you convince yourself that this is all you deserve. But the truth is, you deserve a love that meets you where you are, not one you have to chase endlessly. It takes courage to walk away from something you've invested your heart in. But it also takes self-respect to recognize when love isn't being returned. Leaving doesn't mean you didn't love deeply. It means you've finally chosen to love yourself just as much. And sometimes that's the hardest, most powerful choice of all.